Hello everybody. Let's see if it starts properly. And I even managed to get the sound from getting on. Hi Cindy, hi Robbie. Hi Chris. Okay, so number one, talking about Christmas ornaments. Even if I generally use the term Christmas ornaments for these, Christmas ornaments can be of all kinds of shapes and forms and all kinds of stuff. And I sure hope to be able to show you before the end of November, actually, several kinds of Christmas ornaments. Let me say hi to everybody. Hi, Kellen, Ellen, Kelly, Judy, Char, Beth, Fran, Christy, Anna, Mary, and Donna. Hello. Now, remember that there are two ladies who are moderating the chat. I see one of them is here, Judy, and the other one is Eileen. She's not on yet. Usually she has issues with YouTube notifying her. Hi, Ermi, Sonia, JC, Cecile, Susan. Hello. So, as I said, I did post, and let me post again my Amazon influencer store link, because I'll be talking about, and you can find the link in the video description, and I didn't change the hold on, give me just a second. I didn't change the scrolling. You can find the link in the video description, but I will be referring of all kinds of stuff that is in the influencer store. And right now I have two influencer stores running, the US and the UK, and the UK is not yet full. Thank you. So whenever you, and I try to pretty much organize it by sections, and I tried in the section now that Amazon allows us to move stuff around, I try to get them by brands so that I can make stuff easier. What I have to tell you is that I recently added in the US store some snowflake stencils in the stencils and dies section, and some snowflake embossing folders in the textures sheets and so on and so forth. But these, you will find them in the coverables section, and they are the very last on the list. But what I can tell you, I did put them there, and sometimes I do put stuff in my Amazon influencer store pretty much so you can see it, because you can find it cheaper in other places. And I usually tell you where you can find them, but just for you to know what to look for. As you can see, I got this at Hobby Lobby for $8.99, and it's cheaper than what you can get on Amazon. Maybe you can find something else on Amazon cheap like this. But what I wanted to tell you is that these, I got them actually from last year towards the end of Christmas, and it was, I got actually two. One of them was before the Christmas sale started, and I used my 50% coupon. And if you didn't know, if you go to Hobby Lobby's website, you can download on your phone the 50% off coupon, and you get 50% off. You just show your phone at the checkout, and on you can choose whichever of your items is the most expensive. So on one of them I actually paid $4.50, and on the other one I think it was like 30% sale, so I paid less. But this is what you need. You have to be very careful. Make sure that it says glass ornaments, because see how this one says here glass, because there's quite a bit of these out there that are acrylic or even crappier plastic, and those will not work because they will melt in the oven. Hold on, I have some issues taking them out. Let me get a couple of them out. Then there are a few other things that you might want to get. Essentially, your best bet, and I did show in a 2 parts tutorial how to make those. And another thing that I need to remind you, if you go on my channel and if you go on the playlists tab, you will find the playlist with Christmas, winter holidays. Because I did in the 2.5 years since I opened the channel, I did quite a few tutorials for all kinds of holidays. But also I started on the Facebook page, on the Kalyana Facebook page, to schedule every day. Hi Elaine, there's my second lady moderator. I scheduled every day to be posted a winter holiday themed tutorial, and from the ones that I did in the past. Also, the other thing that please remember, and I will make soon hopefully a short ad, the Imagine Polymer Clay Art Contest is open for pre-registration. And there are awesome prizes. You have to be a beginner artist. You must not have more than 500 followers overall on all the social networks you have accounts on. And the prizes are really neat, only that there are a few rules there, and be very careful on following the rules, because the summer edition we had only one winner, and that was by default because it was the only lady who actually paid attention to the rules and did her submission properly. And it was a pity because we had beautiful pieces submitted, but they were not submitted as we request them to be submitted. And what I can tell you is that for the first prize for the US people, it is $100 gift certificate for PolyClay Play and $50 voucher for my paid tutorials. And for the abroad will be $100 gift certificate to the local Amazon and $50 vouchers to my paid tutorials. So let's go ahead and see what we need. So I said this is what you need to start with. And as I said, one of the easiest ways to do this is to simply use the translucent clay with a gold metal leaf, a little bit of alcoholic inks, and you can make absolutely fabulous ornaments. But for other things, generally speaking, it's a good idea to get as much translucent as you can. And you don't really have to do Cernit. You can use Premo without a problem. If you use Fimo, that might not be as translucent as the other ones, but Premo is just fine. Of course, Cernit and Pardo translucent are the best. I'm going to try and show in between the Sunday tutorials some other tutorials separately, so they wouldn't last so long. But other things that I might or might not, depending on how my health is, that you might want to get. I have one of them right here. Let me grab it. And you can find these at PolyClay Play. All kinds of glitter pens with all kinds of colors of glitter. They are actually gels, and essentially they are for scrapbooking and making greeting cards, and also glitter liner. And you can make because there are these glitter liners too, you can actually make some really beautiful whatchamacallit, stained glass type of stuff. And this I will show in a live Sunday how to make the stained glass stuff and how to make these, but just in case you wanted to go ahead, if you don't have a lot of money, thank you, Anna. If you don't have a lot of money, what I would suggest is to get one of these darker glitter liners. I actually think I need to get one myself. Let me check something. I think that I'm missing one or two. And they are in. Where are they? It's not paints. Let me find it like this, because we have all kinds of other glitters, but I want the gel pens. Okay, so they are in. Doesn't tell me. Okay, champagne hologram. Paints. Let me see if I go in. There we go. It's in paints and PolyClay plates, in paints on. It's the very last one. Viva Decor glitter liners. Let me see. No, I guess she doesn't have it. The darker would be the blue, but you can get the liners also. I'm going to have to make sure that I put them up on the Amazon store, because as I was saying, if you don't have a lot of budget and you want to work with these, honestly, let me see if these specific ones are, because I worked with some that were and with some that weren't. I don't think they are. No. No, they are not. They are not bakeable. You just draw with them after you're done, because these are good for making stuff on glass and all kinds of things. But as I was saying, if you don't have a lot of budget, get something that would be a liner, not a pen, because you have the pens and you have the liners. Get a dark colored liner. Oops. See, I told you my dropping stuff. And then one of the best to have for beautiful effects is the hologram, because this one has very opaly types. Let me try and shield it from the harsh light, because you can make beautiful things. And also, among the stuff that I posted, remember I said that I posted some stencils, and the stencils are plastic, so you can actually use the glitter pens over stencils and it will look beautiful. So get the hologram. I have actually 2 holograms, I think. Yeah, I have 2 holograms. Sometimes, you know the thing when you don't remember if you have something and you just buy just to be safe, and you end up with a whole bunch of them. Then the silver, of course, the gold. I have 2 golds. See, what did I say? And then a good one is the fuchsia. And I guess I don't have a green. I'm gonna have to get a green. But any of these colors, and it depends also on what theme is your tree. Because my tree, for example, is gold, copper, and bronze themed. And if you have seen me posting photos of it before, I started putting it up mostly because of the cats, because the cats adore the Christmas tree. They never mess up with it. They just either sit under it or sit in front of it, especially Connor, and watch it adoringly for hours. But Connor would actually get on the love seat arm and would start studying the decorations. But anyway, another thing that you might want to get, and it's all the way in the kitchen, I'm not going to get it right now, or I might, because it just flew out of my mind how it's called. Nut flake. I need to get it. Actually, I think I brought it in here. I'm still in the process of getting stuff in and out. No, this is poly paste. I don't know. It's something that is fuzzy. Let me see if I got it. It should be here. I'll have to look for them to figure out how it's called. Because I started talking to you about it and my chemo brain kicked in and I completely forgot. Give me just a second. Let me check in my orders. Because I should be able to find it in my orders. No? It's flakeable, fuzzable. Give me, if you are scrapbookers, you might know it. Let me look in the powders, because it's probably there. Powders. Not mica powders. There's a section with powders. Powders and pigments. Okay. And it should be here. The should be is the part, that the bad part. That might be in the miscellaneous. If not, I'm gonna just have to find it and show it to you the next time. Okay, no, I cannot remember. Yeah, it's flocking powder. Thank you, Lauraline. Yeah, flocking powder. I need to add it in the store. That's what it is. So you might want to get hold of some fuzzy flocking powder. That's exactly how it's called, flocking powder. And it's white and it looks like snow on that's what's used to make snow and also to make animal fur like texture on cards and in scrapbooking. So, and I'll show you how to do. Actually, this year I'm going to get a little bit in certain ways a little bit out of using just polymer clay. We are going to do a little bit of mixes with other things. Hi, Kimba. So that we can do more interesting stuff. And yes, we are going to use, I'm going to show you, hopefully, and I'll be able to do all of this, because what I really want to do, I really want to show you how to make little nutcrackers. Hi, Pamela. And how to make flat snowflakes. Yes, the flocking powder. But hopefully I'll be able to do that. And of course I want to make a few canes. By the way, Maya, and I have to show you this. It still hurts, but look at this. I can actually lift my arm all the way up there. So it's awesome. So hopefully in a few days I'll be able to get back on, because until now reducing canes was quite painful. So I have way more mobility on my arm because I've been doing faithfully my physical therapy. And with the flocking powder and with other things, and I want to also use to show you how to do certain decorations. Some of them, as I said, they will be during the lives on Sunday, but I hope to have enough time to do a few as uploaded tutorials. But let's get to the how to decorate, how to cover a regular Christmas ornament. First of all, what you want to do is to take this out for several reasons, but the most important one is that when you're baking, this is going to get very, very hot, and you risk either the glass cracking or the clay. If you bring it too far up here, it might get a little burned. So first of all, take this out. It's going to be easy to put back in. You can use your jewelry plier or just your hands and just put those together and you can put it back in. But for now we are going to take it out. Then we need some translucent clay, fairly well, but not super soft, you know, well conditioned but not super soft. Remember when I did that, when I showed you how to condition translucent, I said do the test if it does this or not. And what you want at this point, you do want it to go a little bit on the thicker setting, but not on the thin setting that I'm going to do right now. So I have this on the thicker setting and I'm going to get it through the pasta machine a few times, but getting on a very, very thin setting. Hi Norma Jean. Now, I've been asked many times, do you put bake and bond on the glass ornament before putting... No, this is Premo. It's just plain Premo. Before you put the clay on it or not. If you're going to cover all the ornament, yes, it's Premo, Pamela. If you're going to cover all the ornament, you don't have to worry about bake and bond. If you're going to cover only part of the ornament, as long as your clay goes past half, so that it would kind of encompass the whole thing, you don't have to worry about bake and bond. If it goes like just on the bottom or bottom and top, then yes, you need to use, and not just bake and bond, but I would suggest that at least in a couple spots you kind of put them together, because otherwise you run the risk of the bottom coming off after it's baked. So the easiest way, and I thought of showing you how to make a couple of these. So just plain translucent. And remember, you are the master of the clay. The clay is not your master. You need to manipulate it nicely, and if you manipulate it nicely, you're going to force it to do whatever you want. Because you'll say, oh, but that is a straight sheet. How am I going to be able to convince it to go around the sphere? So you start at the middle. First you make sure that your thing is nice around the middle, and then you just go little by little. You're going to end by needing to trim off the excess, but as you can see, it covers beautifully. Little by little. Again, I'm going to go with the middle. Make sure that the middle is nice and flat, and then as I go up, and then on the other side the same thing. You have to be very careful and not to trap any air. And it's okay if it breaks, you can always put it together. Now, depending on if your design is going to be simply with this, then you want to be a little bit more careful to the surface. Of course you can. I was asked if can you sand it. Absolutely. Just don't press on it to break the glass. Don't squeeze it. So you see how here it normally makes a fold, but I'm just going to go from the bottom towards the top, simply pressing. And why I said you don't want your clay to be too soft, too well conditioned, because if it is, it's going to be very sticky and very hard to manipulate. And this area as well. And the very end, again. Actually, I'm gonna have two more. Hey. So you want the middle to be well stuck to the glass. And just you have to coerce it. Now when you get towards the end here, you want it to be fairly straight. So I'm going to make a straight cut. And I'm going to bring it all the way to here. But see, I want my middle to be very well flattened on the glass. Because remember, when it's raw, polymer clay is very, very flexible. Yeah, and then not only that, Leah, but you can make a whole a whole theme, and Christmas ornaments that are all themed or all the fashion of the day, they can get expensive. And also you might not find what you're looking for. And At this point I'm going to already cut my extra, most of my extra. So that it doesn't start sticking to itself. And you see, like here, breaking. If this happens, it's very easy. Just go back and you'll see it's very easy to make it look uninterrupted. I'll show you here in a second. But this has to be not very thick, because no matter what, if you're going to use something to cover it, if you are not going to use something to cover it, you want it to look rather frosty. And after I finish this, I need to take my pill. Okay, now here I'm going to do another hard cut for now. And as you can see, I have a few spots here where it's not completely covered, a few spots here where it's over. I'm going to very gently shave. And then here I want to cut all this. Going to just trim it off, most of it, and then place a few spots. Just then making sure that it is all nice and flat. And again, very, very careful about air pockets. Make sure it's a fold, not an air pocket, if you see anything. And then the easiest thing to do, I think I need to put a tiny spot here to have it perfectly covered. Okay. Hi, Sherry. So now that I'm done to this, it still has, I don't know if you can see it. Maybe let me try and make this a little bit darker. Just for now, while I'm working with the very bright, so that you can see the, okay. See how it still has a few dents pretty much. So what you want to do at this point to cover perfectly this area where I patched, alcohol. Now if your clay were even more conditioned, you would have had a lot of issues putting it on, because it would have wanted to stick to itself. Hi, Natalia. And that's why I said make it where it kind of still breaks, because at this point you don't care too much. And then I can go ahead and do this time a nice cut, and I can do it with the blade, and I can do it with a X-Acto knife. See, I'm holding the X-Acto knife approximately at the same distance from the little neck of the ornament. And then if later you want to make it look even prettier, of course you can put like a little rope with silver or gold to make this upper edge perfect. Or you can go like this. And again, for people who keep asking me, how come you don't leave fingerprints? I file most of my fingerprints about once a week. Not enough to the point of making my fingerprints disappear, because if something happens and I need to get fingerprinted, I don't want to get in trouble with the law, but enough that I don't get fingerprints on the clay. And don't try to bring it all the way in, because remember, you need to put that thing back. And if it doesn't have room to go all the way in, the little bail won't hold it very well. Yay, Francis made it. Okay, now let's see what can we do with it. I'm going to show you, and yes, you can find it in the molds. No, actually, I think I put it in here. I think I might not have. Might be my. As I said, I didn't get everything where it belongs yet. Okay. Oh yes, thank you. Now this you can do it with regular clay and then put some mica powder on it. You can do it with translucent clay and put mica powder on it. You can do it with pearl clay and just chop it. You know, the same as I showed you many times. Just chop the... Actually, why don't we do it? Hold on. Let me grab some white some white pearl. This one you want it to be very well conditioned. Hi Jessie. Make sure that you check the play. I have 2 or 3 playlists for beginners. Make sure you check them. So you want to get it on the thickest setting, but roll it until you get the mica sheen. And I know the next question will be, how do you bake it without messing it up? Well, you have several ways to do it. You can either put it on a bed of fiber fill, or you can make a little holder using a dowel. Okay, so I got my white mica powder, and remember, it looks so dark because if I leave it light brighter, the white will be, you won't be able to see the details. So I'm going to start just chopping it. And this is a very soft white mica. Why do you need to bring it to the mica sheen? To make sure that you get the proper effect in the end. You might want to look for my mica shift technique. I want to redo that one, but for now I think that it's quite a good explanation I'm giving there why. Yeah, you can do that too, but if you want the the snowflakes to look like snowflakes, you kind of want it to be fairly consistent, because if you do too many things, you'll be able to see, depending on the size, how you're looking at it, you'll be able to only see one part of the snowflake. Of course, you can also cover with holographic glitter. And you want to keep chopping and chopping quite a good number of times. And then grab a small piece of your chopped stuff, flatten it, and this is a sugar craft, so it's going to be fairly soft. So I'm going to look for what I'm going to put in to be already about that size, because being a sugar craft is going to be a little hard to shave off. Because it's so soft. Oops. Okay, and then we go like this. See, it has a little knot in the very middle. I avoid manipulating it too much so I don't deform it. I placed it directly on it, and let me grab a dowel. Okay, I didn't bring anything to put it in. I'm gonna just put it in here. No, this is not good. You want to place it in a glass or something. I'm gonna do this for now. There we go. Now I'm gonna take another piece. Hi, Willow. You're okay. And I'm going to grab another little piece that I'm going to flatten. To fit in another one of these. See, it sticks. It's very soft. I said before, I have a white pearl that came in very, very, very soft. And very sticky. Make sure that your edges are clean. And then I'm going to, let me put it on the exact opposite side. And I need two more. And I'll probably do one on the bottom as well. Yeah, this one and this one, because they seem to be about the same sizes. Yeah, I got it a while ago because I thought I'm going to need it for various things. But what I'm going to do with it is going to actually be a mica shift. You'll see. Get a little bit of armor all on the blade to stick less. And yes, armor roll, I was able to find armor roll. I went on all the Amazon sites worldwide, and you can find it all over the world. Just look for armor roll original. It might not be in the same container as the one I have. It might be in a regular spray, cylindrical spray bottle, but as long as it says Armor Roll Original, that's what you're looking for. And again, making sure that my edges are clear. You can actually do this to check. Now let's find the in between. Is going to be here. And one more. Oh, one clay that you can use beautifully to cover these, and even with yeah, even with the metal leaf, is the Cernit translucent white glitter. It is absolutely fabulous for this kind of stuff. Okay, and then I said I'm going to do this one. The pivoting blade to cut off the excess doesn't work very good on soft. Yes, Danta, but I was talking about outside the US. Because there's always the question, how do we find it outside the US? Okay, so should be right here and right here. So press on all sides to make sure that it sticks to the base. And then for the very bottom I'm going to use this, the largest one, or this. Yeah, let's do this one. You want the part that goes in the mold to be perfectly flat with no pitting, pretty much. And then you can press it in. I'm using the cosmetic sponge so the clay will not stick to the roller and come out of the mold. Some clays may be so sticky that they do that no matter what. It depends from clay to clay. Here I have a little film. And again, I'm going to make sure that the edges are coming off. See, I have a little bit over here, so you just pull it in so it won't be over this edge, to make sure that it's not going to give you any issues coming out. So here you need to be very careful to put it straight in the middle. Okay, now what I can do here, as I said, I can put mica powder. Let me refocus this. What balloons? I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, balloons and polymer. What do you think will happen when you bake? Depending on what they are filled with. The sand is the best solution, but also remember that balloons are made of plastic and not all plastics are made the same. So you might run the risk that the plastic starts smoking. Okay, there we go. Okay. One things, two things, three things, four things, depending on how you want them to be, how much you want them to be mica powder. How delicate or how shiny you want them to be. You can use an interference powder, and you don't really have to use the Opal Magic. You can use the blue interference. Oh well, sorry. This got soft. Stayed there. Okay, so one of the things would be interference powder, and you can use the interference powder on them. And they are going to be super delicate and all that. You can use interference wax, and I'm using here the turquoise. And it's going to be also super delicate and all that. And you can put it, I usually put a layer before I put them in the oven and another layer after I get it in the oven. Another thing that you can use is, especially if you're in Europe. Now, let me ask you this. Why would you go through all that trouble when you can buy the glass ones? You know, I'm seeing all the time, oh, I did this homemade buffing wheel, or I did this, and it just boggles my mind. I'm all for doing stuff when you don't have the budget to buy something else. But when it's cheaper to buy it and it saves your time, I don't know. Yes, old ball ornaments is perfect. You can also go to the dollar store and get regular. Just make sure that you get the glass ones that can be covered all the time. Okay, what do I want to get? I wanted to get yes. The Cernit silver is actually a sparkler, and then you can get those sparklers from American Body Art. Remember that I presented them to you a while ago? They have interference micas, but they also have sparklers. And what is a sparkler? A sparkler is actually a mica powder that's a little bit larger, or a glitter that is much smaller. And this is the difference. See, this one is what's called a flash powder. It's more or less a regular mica. This one is a sparkler. That's a mica that's a little bit larger, and I'm trying to find a good, no, let me get this a little bit. You don't use plastic bowls. That's what I said like 4 times. Hi, Lydia. Careful, don't use plastic bowls, because not all plastics are good for baking. Okay. No, these are from American Body Art. They are not on Amazon. And you can get little bags like this for 99 cents. And then they have, see, the series of sparklers, that's the elements. And the series of glitters that are also, they call them glitter, but they are actually also sparklers, and they are the elements series that have some kind of interference-y stuff. So I'm going to just use a sparkler. Let me see, let me use the rose quartz on another one of these. I'm just putting different, yes, the mold is in my store. See how pretty it is. It's gorgeous. And I'm going to place on another. And it's okay if you put a little bit on the sides. It's just going to make it prettier. Let me get this back to where it's supposed to be. Okay. Then the other thing you can use is the Cernit silver mica powder, which in my opinion is a sparkler. It's not a mica powder, because it definitely doesn't look like silver. I tried it a little bit. And I'm going to need a brush for this. It's pretty much a glittery thing. It's not really a mica powder. It's pretty much a sparkler, because it's got iridescence. It's more mother of pearlish than silver. So this is the Cernet sparkling diamond silver. And then if you want them to be a little bit even more flashy, you can use regular acrylic paint, and your best bet will be the color shifts. And I'm going to use it on the bottom one. Yeah, you can use them with silver. You can make metallic looking ornaments. And you can wait for this to dry and apply another coat if you want, or just go with it as is. But if you want it to have all those color shifts, you need it in 2 or 3 coats. Or you can use the Opal Magic acrylic paints, because those are also interferency and they are a little bit stronger than the waxes applied on white. Okay, now let me try and see if I got. No, it's I've been going in and out and focus because I'm changing the distance. Okay, let me see if I missed anything. So yeah, these ones I made like 2 years ago a review on them. It's called American Body Art, spelled with a K on American. And they have absolutely fabulous micas and glitters. The glitters are the best thing. They don't change colors when you bake them. A lot of the glitters might change colors on you. And they are non-toxic, because what they make, they actually make glitters and all these things for body paint, face painting and body painting. So they are a little bit cleaner than others. And but they don't sell on Amazon. You'll have to go on their website. And as I said, the good part is that you can buy if you want to try. And these ones, I used quite a bit of them, but they come about, this is how full they come, and these are 99 cents. And you know how long mica and stuff. I'm sorry. No, they are not blurry. At least I don't see that. Let me check one more time. It's YouTube. See, unfortunately, YouTube on the, but no, it gives me a 1080. It might look better after I'm finish it and I'm processing, because it looks like it does do a 1080 now. So once it's done, after about half an hour, it should get to the best quality. I didn't do anything on this one, but all the other ones have something on them. But of course, here is just to show you how you can put all kinds of molds. You can have, now if you have a Hello Kitty, you can do Hello Kitties here. On the molds. Hold on, let me go check. No, it is not. That's why I don't see it. Give me just a second. I thought I put it there. Oh, I see why you don't see it anymore. They don't have it. They don't sell it anymore. Oh. Hold on, let me see what Trish has. See, that's the problem when you get stuff from Amazon. Sometimes they won't have it anymore. Especially if they are small. Companies. Let me see if Trish has any. If not, I'll be looking for another one. As I don't know if I got this on I'm trying to see if it's exactly the same. Yeah, I think that this is exactly the same. Hold on. Trish got it. Because remember I told you that sometimes I get stuff and I tell Trish. And she manages to find one. They do have it on another. Let me check it. Uh 3D. Yep. 2 pieces. Oh yes, I found it. It's $6.99. I'm adding right now to the molds, so you might want to go directly in the molds. Refresh the page. So $6.99. But as I said, there's the one with Trish as well. Only that Trish's is pink. Let me see if it allows me to put a longer. Okay. So it's up to you. I found it again on Amazon, but thank you that some of you checked, because as I said, sometimes they just disappear, or you'll see a completely different product. It's like, I didn't add socks in my molds. So yeah, now I re-added it and it's the very first one. Okay, so this being said, I think I'm going to go call it a day, call it a Sunday, and look forward for more stuff. But for now, I showed you what are the things we're going to be working on. Of course, we are going to make a cane one, and I'm going to show you some other neat effects. But as I said, look for the gel pens and gel liners. And honestly, talking about glitter, if you have the possibility to get the Cernit translucent white glitter, if you want glittery stuff, that is beautiful. Thank you, Robbie. And also you can use either the Opal Magic waxes, Opal Magic powders, Opal Magic paints, acrylic paints. You can use the color shifts, but making them, and you can, of course, you can put the snowflakes way more one into the other. And again, I will be using this, good thing that we found it again on Amazon, on a mica shift tutorial. So you might want to get it, and you saw it's $6.99, so it's not super expensive. And I think that Trish also has it for like 6 something, yeah, $6.75, and it's pretty much the same. Oh, Trish's is bakeable. It says minus 40 F2 plus 446. So Trish's is bakeable. I don't know if the one on Amazon is bakeable. Let me check. Doesn't say anything. I don't think it is heat sensitive, heat proof. I'm going to ask. Oh no, there is here. It can be used in the oven. So the Amazon one is also oven proof. But to be very honest, every time I get something that's supposed to be oven proof, I first put it in the oven a little bit to be on the safe side, because it happened before that I got stuff that was supposed to be oven proof, and I put it in the oven, and then I'm like, what's that smell of melt plastic? And it wasn't. Thank you. Okay, Sunday is always my complete day off. I'm going to relax, put my feet up, and watch some movies, and more honestly, snooze some movies. And tomorrow morning I'll get back to work, and I should be okay. I have 2 days this coming week physical therapy, but it is a necessary evil. Yes, don't forget to like the live. Don't forget to go if you want to participate in the Imagine. Let me actually give you the link real quick to the Imagine contest. If you want to register, people who pre-register also get a coupon code. Be your luck, yeah. Okay, I shall see you next Sunday, and hopefully I'll bring at least one tutorial out this week. Love you all. Have a wonderful Sunday, what's left of it.